Hi, I'm Rachel, and this is my 2024 BookTube Prize Quarterfinals TBR video. The BookTube Prize was created by Robert Sheard back in 2019. The purpose is for the literary bookternet to get together and judge the best in literary fiction and nonfiction published the year before in the US. We start with a long list, so 48 books apiece in each division, and through 4 rounds we whittle it down to winners and runners-up, which will be announced in October. But now I'm sitting pretty in the beginning-ish of April, and we just started the second of the 4 rounds, the quarterfinals, where the lists are down to 24 per division. And I'm going to get into what I will be judging and giving some preliminary thoughts on my ballot. But before I do that, I just want to quickly go into some stats, because back in January, Robert emailed the judges a bunch of possibilities, a list of possibilities of books to make the long list, and we could vote to up to 20 of them. And I've been tracking my numbers on these 2 sheets about how many of my 20 books made it onto the Octafinals list back at the beginning of the year, and now how many are still in the running as we go into the quarterfinals. So I guess I'm going to start with my nonfiction numbers, where 16 of the 20 books that I voted for made it into the Octafinals. And now, at the beginning of the quarterfinals, 12 of those books are still in the running. So only, I guess, 4 of those books have been eliminated. So I'm feeling pretty good about that. I'm on par. But my fiction numbers were pretty much abysmal, I thought. I only had a little over half of the books that I voted for made it even into the Octafinals. My Octafinals number was 11 out of 20. And as we go into the quarterfinals, only 4 out of the 20 books that I personally was interested in, or the most interested in, remain in the running for the BookTube Prize. So I hope they're all really good books, stalwart books, and they, stay in the prize for the next few rounds, but I guess we'll have to see. So anyway, my MO in this project is that I sign up for both nonfiction and fiction. Nonfiction tends to be less popular than fiction, and in the earlier rounds, Robert needs more judges total. So generally I expect, and what usually happens, is that I am judging nonfiction for the early rounds, and then I move over to fiction for the finals round. But that's not always the case. It was the case for my Octafinals round that I just got out of. I judged Octafinals Nonfiction Group B, and I was very much expecting to be judging nonfiction for the quarterfinals. And I went ahead and I, was paying close attention to the quarterfinals announcement video Robert made, and I'll post down below, because I figured the computer algorithm would put me in the nonfiction quarterfinals group where I hadn't read any of the books before. So, 3 of the books that I read for the Octafinals would be disseminated into 3 of the 4 nonfiction quarterfinal groups, and I figured I'd be in the other quarterfinal group, which actually ended up to be nonfiction group C. So I went ahead and I was chosen for being a quarterfinal judge, and I signed into the program Robert uses to track all of us, and I saw Group C, and I assumed it was nonfiction until I started reading the titles, and it took me even then a little time to get my brain in the right space to realize, wait a second, these are novel names. I am actually judging fiction Group C for the quarterfinals this year, which is exciting, I guess, kind of fun. This is my first time ever since starting as a judge, an official judge in 2020, that I've been chosen to judge fiction for the quarterfinals. So there we go. And that's my long spiel to lead into things. And now I'm going to go ahead and tease you with the 6 covers of the books I will be reading for the next 2 months. Okay, and here are my preliminary pre-reading thoughts about all 6 of these books before I have to zip my lips as an official judge so that we don't, influence each other over the next 2 months. Anyway, I'm going to start with the one book on my ballot that I voted for to make onto the long list, and that book is Enter Ghost by Isabella Hamad. And I voted for this book pretty explicitly because it is Palestinian fiction. I am Jewish. I have personal and cultural ties linked directly to Israel, and I want to continue to challenge myself as I can, to read from Palestinian perspectives. In fact, right now I'm currently reading a Palestinian memoir for my synagogue's book club. But anyway, what I also know about this book is that it involves a Hamlet play that'll be put on, I believe, in the West Bank by these characters. Enter Ghost is a stage direction from Hamlet, and I also am a big fan of Hamlet, so I'm intrigued to see how that will also fit into the story. I voted for this book. I also do know this book will challenge me, and part of what I want to do here is bring my judging credentials to the table and how I'm able to critique it, hoping, of course, for good things. Of the other 5 books, I'll just go in order, I guess, from what I see on my page here. We have Birnam Wood by Eleanor Catton. I think it might be the longest book on this ballot, although after my nonfiction ballot it doesn't seem too bad. Also, I believe this is post-apocalyptic literary fiction set in New Zealand. The part of that interests me the most, frankly, is literary post-apocalyptic fiction, and I'm immediately going to start comparing it to Station 11 by Emily St. John Mandel, which probably isn't even fair because I've put that book on way too high of a pedestal. But when I hear literary apocalyptic fiction, that's where my mind goes. So hopefully, even if it doesn't live up to Station 11, it'll have something to offer. So that'll be my challenge, I suppose, with that one, to be able to judge it on its own merits. And I hope that it will be a good yarn. The next book on here is Chain Gang All-Stars by Nana Kwame Adjei-Brenyah, which I think might be the buzziest book on this list. I'm just defining buzziest by the one I've heard the most about, that it's, I guess, been most chatter going on around me about this book. And it is another book that I think is dystopian in nature, and it's supposed to be a critique of the US prison industrial system. And there's been some mixed reviews, I think, about its literary merits that I know from booktubers I follow. So that was one of the reasons I didn't vote for it myself, but now I have it on my ballot and I want to give it a fair shake. I actually saw this author in person a few years ago at the Gaithersburg Book Festival, which is a growing book festival in Maryland, and he was touting his first book at that book festival. And he seemed like a nice guy, so I'll keep that in mind as I give him a try. The next book on my ballot is Goodnight Irene by Luis Alberto Herrera, and I have some trepidation about this book because I've read this author before and I didn't really fully like that book, which is similar, I think, in theme in that it's World War II historical fiction. So that makes, I'm a little nervous about this, and I have to, that my challenge here, I suppose, is that I have to divorce my opinions of that book from this book. It could be a completely different experience. It certainly has a lot of clout. A lot of people like it. It made it through the octafinals. It could be a different experience. So yeah, hoping for the best. Then we have The House of Doors by Tan Tuan Ang, which is the book I think I know the least about on this list. I've heard the least about before the BookTube Prize. It's historical fiction set in China, I believe, and it has to do with queer themes and queer characters, which on its surface really compels me, to get like something that seems like it wouldn't be as explored in earlier fiction, but in today's climate, fiction like this is more centered. So yeah, I'm hoping that it'll be compelling and I'll learn things and I'll enjoy this. And the final book on this ballot is The Vaster Wilds by Lauren Groff, which is a book I've heard about. I've heard a lot about Lauren Groff. I have actually read and enjoyed some of her short stories, but I've never read any of her novels before, so this seems like a good course corrective for that I should give her a chance. I've liked her short stories. And my understanding of this book, at least I wrote down, you know, some quick notes on all of the books on that were possibilities for the long list, and my understanding here is a colonial girl escapes into the wilderness. So I guess we'll see how well my very quick dashed off research does in properly explaining this book. And that about covers it for me now. I'm going to go ahead and link the Goodreads pages for all 6 of these books down below, and also more information on the BookTube prize. And with that, I'm officially zipping my lips until the beginning of June when the quarterfinals end, and I can tell you what I thought about reading these books. I will probably tease them in upcoming Am reading videos, where I just say that I'm reading them and not give you more information than that. But on that note, expect to see me here back on this channel in the next couple of days for my first Am reading video of April. Stay tuned for that. I hope all of my fellow judges in the BookTube Prize quarterfinals are finding their books, reading their books, and hopefully enjoying their books. And I can't wait to hear about them in June. So yeah, thanks so much for watching, everyone. And I'll see you next time.